Okay, let's talk about episode 3 of yesterday. I see a lot of people on X spoiling it a little bit, and I was like, are they working for WeTV? But anyways, WeTV put out the previews or the clips of episode 3. So with that, I'm gonna see what I can salvage of what I expect or what I think will happen in episode 3. So in episode 3 is either it's Kelvin's birthday or it's just Veer giving Kelvin a gift. Now hear me out. Hear me out. Here's what I think, because I was watching episode 1, episode 2, I noticed some connections that each one of them, because of how Kelvin is with Veer, they always give us time. Now this is before all the shackles in the dungeon part. No, I don't know if it's a year later or a couple months or whatever. I just know that the fact that Veer is acting so nice with Kelvin. Remember, they got history. Apparently, because there ain't no way Kelvin got so obsessed. It's got to be Veer did some romantic shit and now Kelvin is hooked. This is a part of it. Anyways, we know that Kelvin is going to accept this gift because he loves Veer. Of course, he's going to accept anything that Veer gives him. So Veer said that he wanted to give Kelvin this gift yesterday. Don't know what they were doing yesterday for him to give him a gift, or they must have did something and Kelvin just wanted to give. Veer wanted to give Kelvin a gift he just wanted to give him a gift. Mighty God of Daniels. This is Veer we're talking about. Why am I even surprised? The fact that Kelvin really accepted it and looked at Veer and was like, does this have a set? Does this belt include with a set? Like, how naughty are you, Veer? Kelvin. Veer must have broke your intensified voice, mind, whatever, for you to be asking it as a set. But for real, does it as a set? Dude, I think Kelvin started changing since Veer bought him the contact lens. Ever since then, he was slowly adapting into Veer's ways. So do we blame Kelvin? No, we blame Veer because Veer was slowly turning him into his guilty pleasure. And because of the fact that he went excessive, Veer can't control him anymore. At this point, Veer, you should blame yourself for the things that you're going through. Okay, there's so many questions I need to ask. Now, because WeTV only focused on just Veer and Kelvin in this preview, it's best that I, bring up the other characters. Like, for example, you have the girl that was about to marry or is married to Ken, that rich girl, Little something, I can't remember her name. Now, she actually hires Veer's best friend, because we're going to call her best friend, to be a bodyguard. We want to know how that life is going for and how the protection part is kicking in. But I do know, what's her name? I don't remember. Nana. Right, Nana. I do know Nana is still in the process of trying to find Veer, because remember, Veer has disappeared from her and she don't know where he is. Now, we don't know when we see Nana. We don't know how many days or months or years have passed when she didn't see Veer. Okay, with that said, we need to know about Ken, how his life is going with, considering he's making sure that Kelvin don't get anything. He doesn't get a permit to even build his hotel business. He doesn't get funds to build his hotel. All those jazz. We also want to know about the fathers, and we want to know so much about this. With that said, Kelvin, I'm pretty sure Kelvin will make his way in money-wise. The little money that he has is what he has to go with. But other from that, what's going to happen? Is he still building his hotel? Is he going to find a way to make more money? What? Hold up, I blinked and something happened. What trouble did Kelvin get into this time? Who beat him up? Because seeing that he's thanking Veer, he did not put up a fight back. There's got to be how many years left, and you got to defend yourself somehow. You may not have as much money as Veer, but you got to defend yourself. I mean, did we not learn from the prison? No, sorry, the jail cell. Did we not learn? Anyways, whoever attacked Calvin, Veer was there and Veer saved him. Not until he got a punch. Now, it's many things that can occur to this fight. Either Calvin did something financial wise to somebody, or Ken must have showed up and put on a beating. Either way, I don't know. If it's Ken, then the fact that Veer just helped him with Ken, I don't know. It could be some ambush, something. I don't know. Oh, wow. We're still going fishing. The fact that I see that Veer is actually into it now, because in the past, Homeboy said fishing is boring. But for some reason, he gotten used to the fact that he likes to be patient and wait for the fish to come to him. Anyways, Calvin just loved the fact that Veer is beside him. Actually, Calvin is Veer is the only person that pretty much was and is always around Calvin. Calvin doesn't have much friends, so the fact that he's happy that Veer is around says a lot. Also, in an interview or press conference or whatever stage place, I don't know what they call that, Pete did say that Calvin is a black flag. So we skipped all the colors and go to black. Can somebody tell me what black flags mean? I know what green flag and red flag is, but what is black flag? And what is yellow flag? I need to know the flag colors, because at this point, by the end of all dramas, we're going to get the rainbow colors at this point. Just to put it out there for those who don't know, WeTV issued a 35-second video, and my recap is actually a long, or prediction, whatever I call it. See, as a person who do recaps and prediction, I must be able to decipher all these things. Considering I'm giving all these details says a lot. Anyways, remember, Veer and Calvin are business partners. Even though we risk a lot of things, we are business partner. The fact that Calvin is the one that able to get Veer to partner with him, while Ken, his brother, struggles. It says a lot. It says a lot. Now, I feel like the reason Veer partnered with Calvin, not because the fact that he knows that there's a lot of things going to go wrong, it's the fact that he knows that Calvin has great ideas, and these are ideas that are big risky, but at least we know he did his shit himself, and unlike Ken only just sit around and let the stuff happen to him, and the fact that the father just let it happen and all the things that he done, I don't know. I can't wait till somebody find him and actually give him his medicine. Anyways, this kind of reminds me of Heated Rivalry. You know that part where they had the bar? Yeah. Now, either they're celebrating the fact that they finally got funds for the hotel, or they're just celebrating because the fact that they wanted to celebrate. Now, this is actually the thumbnail for WeTV, because the shit that was at the end, they have to play it safe. But for me, when have I ever played it safe? Mid-air. Anyways, let's talk about this part. So we are at a movie, and I'm assuming somebody bought out the whole entire room, because I don't see nobody here, and the fact that they're sneaky with this move, it means no one is there. Now my question is, who bought it out? Is it Calvin or Veer? At this point, remember, Calvin is trying to make money to actually build his hotel, to actually make money, and then when he makes enough money, he wants to take over the family business, which was rightfully his. Now, my question, though, it looks like he has money. So how much money does Calvin have for him to actually want more money for? Like I said in my recaps, even if you're a millionaire or billionaire, each business that you go through has to have funds, just in case they want to know if you're reliable or not. But there are certain business billionaires that actually make it out of their own money, as that's their biggest risk ever. But all they have to do is go through paperwork. It's a long paperwork, let me tell you that. Any country that has to do with business and you have to go do paperwork, it takes a good amount of time to get approved, get stamped, get legalized, all those work. Okay, I love how there's always problems. Anyways, this man went to attack the Veer because he did something. Now, my opinion is I don't think it's Veer. Remember, Veer went to represent his father into the business. And when he got to the place before, at the reunion or whatever place, people were talking about his father. Somehow his father did something with the liquidization and the leaking or whatever. It has everything to do with the father, not the son. But of course, because the father told Beer to represent him, a lot of shit's going wrong at this point. Okay, let's talk about this. The man that went to attack to Veer, honestly, let's talk about Calvin. Calvin, you're a sweetheart. You really are, because you do not value your life. And you're protecting the person that you think is your man, but technically your so-called man only with you because he wants to have sex with you. But you don't know that yet. Anyways, whatever chemical this man threw, it definitely stained Calvin's clothes. Where they are, I'm believing this is the building that Kelvin is supposed to build for the hotel, and Vera just happened to be there to just see the structure. Remember, his idea is crucial because he knows business wise, and this is good for Kelvin because Kelvin can get some good ideas on what not to do, even though he was told to not do anything, because let's be honest, he's not getting the funds. But that did not stop Kelvin. Kelvin is a person who likes to go around ideas to get things his way. So, of course, Vera is not going to stop but support, because let's be honest, he's a hardworking person and he likes to get things done. Okay, now that we see that the chemical that was splashed on Kelvin wasn't anything serious, but the fact that it stained clothes, we know that we have a situation. People are not liking the fact that, one, they're building anything near their homes, and Kelvin and Vera went to check on the situation. The man said that because of Kelvin's structure, they are losing their home. Kelvin is building a big ass hotel and it's near the beach. That's not the problem. It is a good idea, but I feel like this is what Veer was trying to warn Kelvin about when it comes to structures and locations. Other from the money wise, this is a problem. When it comes to business wise, you have to find the best location, and the best location is crucial when it comes to business. Either you make some sacrifices, because remember, the places are always big, yes, but you have to have the good amount of money to buy the land, to own it, but also be sure that the land is very clear. You have some business people sacrifice a lot by finding places, abandoned places, and then buy that. That would be good. But depending on how big you want your structure, there's a lot of sacrifices. Buy out people's homes and their land, give them the money, let them move out to find somewhere else. But that's only big disadvantage, and we can't work with that. Either way, the disadvantage has fallen onto Calvin, because Calvin didn't do much of a research or try to help people when it comes to building his shit. Now, remember when I say Calvin said the hotel that he's building is next to, was it a hotel or apartment? Either way, it's next to a beachside or a seaside. See, the thing is, the people that are complaining to Calvin, they live there too, and they make their living by catching fishes to sell. Both those things are going to cause a problem, because now Kelvin literally built his hotel near to the beachside. And if he does that, it will be owned by Kelvin, and people can't go and fish anymore or live there anymore because Kelvin took over those lands. I think this is a good example for Kelvin to see the shit that he's gonna cause, learn from these mistakes, or if it's gonna be a mistake. I don't think Kelvin will be able to give back their land. Maybe he will probably try to give them money. At this point, everything works with money. The question is, how will he solve this? Like, is he gonna solve it with money? Is he gonna compromise with the people? We don't know. Okay, with everything that's happening, Calvin is apologizing to Veer, but Veer is okay. He's gonna stay with Calvin to live through these crucial moments. Now, I think it's important for me to tell you this, that all that VTV has shown is just the good parts that Veer and Calvin are having, not the part where he's trapped into the dungeon and being tied up or handcuffed to his ankles. Not the part where Kelvin is trying so hard to be with someone that doesn't want him. Those are the part that are going to be in the drama, because if we see that, we'll actually get a big spoiler of what to come. But I still yet to know what year, months, hours, how long this has been. And still, are we going to talk about Nana and how we might have a GL on our hands? Because the girl literally hired Nana, not because the fact that she's a girl, well, maybe that, and the fact that she has more agility than the boys that she wanted to hire. The question is, will the father be okay with it? And if it's okay, and the fact that we know we're going to get a GL, how is this going to turn out with Ken being in the picture, even though he's a dumbass? How are we going to solve this situation? Now, how do we go from apologizing to wearing this? Like, you can tell that homeboy really loved this gift. Now, you're probably wondering, how did Veer know that Calvin was wearing this? Because Veer is a very seductive person. He's gonna stroke his hand, because he's gonna say, oh, it's okay, I'll forgive you. And the way he's stroking Kelvin's chest romantically, of course he's gonna buck up on something that feels very odd, something that he wasn't supposed to be feeling. And he whipped his shirt like Superman and sighed. Now, homeboy is turned on immediately, because apparently whips and chains excites him. At this point, we shouldn't be surprised that they're going to be an NC scene in this episode. I'm kind of surprised that WeTV even put it in the preview of the episode 3. But let's talk about Pete and Fort for a little bit. One thing I like about Pete and Fort is that, or maybe it's just my crazy mind, but I like how they actually did not start off like most BL couples, because most BL couples, they start soft, like school days, and then work their way up to being adults. But that's the problem with certain companies that started them off this young in schools and stuff. It's hard for me and maybe some people to see them doing adult roles, whereas for Pete and Fort and Boss and Noel, they started off strong, loving the hair. They started off in loving the hair in the BL role. Now, bear in mind, some of them has been in BL drama, but as supportive roles, but as their own BL couple. They start off strong. They start off in an adult movie. Now, you're probably wondering, loving the hair is in a school setting. Yes. But if you notice, we don't see much of the school setting in that drama. So that's how I know, for me, they start off very adulting. So I didn't really look at it as a school setting drama. So for them to branch out even more in these adult scenes is cool. I'm not sure if I can look back if they do school vibes, because most of them, Fort's always the older one. In Love in the Air is the older one. Is he the older one in Mahasamut in Love Sea? I don't remember. But the fact that Pete is older than Fort and he's playing the younger role is something cool. Now, I have a question. Are we going to get to see naked butts, butt naked, in the episode 2? Because, hear me out. Can you imagine them doing the do in the car, butt naked, doing the moaning and all that stuff? Good thing it's night and not day. But if someone were to pass and see them filming all the film set and everything, in their mind, who doesn't know about it, they'll be like, oh, they're doing corn stuff, like corn for something. And I'm like, damn, the boldness of acting will kick you. Anywho, here's what I think was gonna happen. I need to know, not here's not what I think. I need to know the time. I need to know how many years have passed for them, or how many years ago, because they've been doing a year ago. But this feels like it's more than just a year. It's been a good amount of time. Good amount of time. So we need to also know what happens when Calvin spotted Veer at the airport, what he did after that, how we realized that shit's happening, how people not realizing that Veer is not home. Those are the stuff that I want to know. On the other end, I do agree with Veer when he said he regret his decision for ever being in contact with Kelvin. That was your biggest mistake, sir. You love the goods, but now that you got too much of it, and the fact that it got too excessive, and the person that owned that good is going cray cray, you can't stop it, sir. That's your fault. That's your fault. Okay, I have no idea how 35 seconds becomes 20 something minutes, but there was a lot of key details. And if you reach to the end of this, thank you for listening. Can you put your thoughts in the comments so I can know what we're dealing with, what you think? If you want to spoil it, that's okay. I like spoilers too. I need to know what I feel like could come to the next. Like, I need to prepare my brain, but also not too much spoilers, because I also need to prepare myself as well.